Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is page 213 from Tafsīr al-Jalālayn. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. قل هل من شركائكم من يبدأ الخلق ثم يعيده قل الله يبدأ الخلق ثم يعيده فأنى تؤفكون تصرفون عن عبادته مع قيام الدليل. Say, is there from among your associates, meaning those you associate with Allah, one who begins the creation, then he repeats it? Say, Allah begins the creation, then he repeats it. فَأَنَّى تُؤْفَكُونَ. So how are you all deceived? تُصْرَفُونَ. How are you all diverted from his worship? مَعَ قِيَامِ الدَّلِيلِ. Despite the standing or the establishment of the proof. قُلْ هَلْ مِنْ شُرَكَائِكُمْ مَنْ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْحَقِّ بِنَصْبِ الْحُجَجِ وَخَلْقِ الْإِهْتِدَاءِ قُلِ اللَّهُ يَهْدِي لِلْحَقِّ. Say, is there from among your associates one who guides to the truth by setting up proofs? Hujaj is the plural of hujjah, which is a proof. Hujaj, proofs. By setting up proofs and creating or the creation of guidance. Creating guidance or the creation of guidance. Say, Allah guides to the truth. أَفَمَنْ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْحَقِّ وَهُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَقُّ أَنْ يُتَّبَعَ أَمَّنْ لَا يَهْتَدِي إِلَّا أَنْ يُهْدَى أَحَقُّ أن يتبع. استفهام تقرير وتوبيخ أي الأول أحق. Then is the one who guides to the truth, which is Allah, and He is Allah, more deserving, أحق, ism tafdeel from haq, meaning right, more deserving, more rightful, more deserving to be followed, or the one who does not act according to guidance except if he is guided. So hada yahdi is form 1, meaning to guide someone. Ihtada is to receive and act upon that guidance. So one might say, hadaytuhu fahtada. I guided him, and so he acted on the guidance. So in other words, one who does not act upon guidance except if he is guided. Yuhda being mabni lil majhul from form 1. Now yahaddi used to be yahtadi before the ta was turned into a dal and it became yahdadi, and then the fatha on that dal that used to be a ta was transferred to the ha and there was idgham. So yahtadi became yahdadi, becomes yahaddi. Or is the one who does not act according to guidance, except if he is guided, more deserving to be followed? So it's just sort of a completion of the sentence there. Istifhamu taqririn wa tawbikhin. This is an interrogative of confirmation and rebuke. So it's not actually asking a question, it's soliciting a confirmation that the first is more rightful, ay al-awwalu ahaq, meaning the first is more rightful to be followed, and a rebuke of those who think otherwise. فما لكم كيف تحكمون هذا الحكم الفاسد من اتباع ما لا يحق اتباعه. So what is with you all? How do you judge? In other words, how do you pass this false judgment of following that whose following is not right? Now, this ma is ism mawsul. The sila is here. لا يحق اتباعه. Its following, in other words, following it, is not right, is not correct. So that which it's following is not correct. In other words, that whose following is not correct. وَمَا يَتَّبِعُ أَكْثَرُهُمْ فِي عِبَادَةِ الْأَصْنَامِ إِلَّا ظَنًّا حَيْثُ قَلَّدُوا فِيهِ آبَاءَهُمْ. And most of them do not follow in the worship of the idols except for presumption, insofar as they have blindly followed their fathers in it. إن الظن لا يغني من الحق شيئا فيما المطلوب منه العلم. Indeed, presumption does not suffice for the truth anything, or does not avail from the truth anything. أغنى يغني, to make self-sufficient. Form 4, to make ghani, to make self-sufficient. In other words, to free someone of need. It does not free anyone of anything from the truth, meaning it doesn't stand in for or replace the truth. فيما المطلوب منه العلم, in that from which the thing sought is knowledge. Okay, let's break this down. This is another ism mawsul. The sila is here, this jumla ismiya, and the a'id is the ha. So, al-matlubu minhu al-ilmu, what is sought from it is knowledge. Al-matlub here being the ism maf'ul of talaba, to seek something. So the thing sought from it is knowledge. So that which the thing sought from it is knowledge. If you flip it around a little bit, that from which the thing sought is knowledge. It's a little bit clunky, but that's what's happening. إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلِيمٌ بِمَا يَفْعَلُونَ فَيُجَازِيهِمْ عَلَيْهِ. Indeed, Allah is knowing of what they do, so He will recompense them for it. وَمَا كَانَ هَذَا الْقُرْآنُ أَنْ يُفْتَرَى أي افتراء من دون الله أي غيره. And this Qur'an was not to be invented, or was not a thing to be invented. يفترى فعل مضارع مبني للمجهول, from to fabricate or to invent, meaning a fabrication from besides Allah, meaning other than Him, meaning other than Allah. ولكن أنزل تصديق الذي بين يديه من الكتب وتفصيل الكتاب تبيين ما كتب الله من الأحكام وغيرها لا ريب شك فيه من رب العالمين متعلق بتصديق أو بأنزل المحذوف. But rather it was sent down, meaning this Quran was sent down as a confirmation, tasdiq, to declare the truth of a thing, as a confirmation of what is between its hands, meaning what is before it, min al-kutubi, of the books, or of the scriptures, meaning what came before of the scriptures, wa tafsīl al-kitabi, and a detailing of the book, or setting forth in detail of the book, meaning a clarification of what Allah wrote of the rulings and other than them, meaning and other than the rulings. So al-kitab here refers to what Allah wrote. Kitab meaning ma katab Allah, hence the root kaf, ta, ba. Kataba may also mean to prescribe, as in the verse kutiba alaykum as-siyam. Fasting has been prescribed for you. So what Allah prescribed of rulings and other things. La rayba shakka fihi, there is no doubt in it. Both raib and shak mean doubt or uncertainty. There is no doubt or uncertainty in it. Now this sentence we might take to be a sifa of al-kitab or tafsīr. Regardless, if we take it as a sifa, then we will say a detailing of the book in which there is no doubt. And so we'll introduce the relative pronoun in that way. Min Rabbil Alameen, from the Lord of the worlds. Now this jar wa majroor is going to be muta'alliq. It is going to be modifying something, or it is going to be connected to something, in which case it is connected to muta'alliqun bi tasdiqa. It is modifying the confirmation. So the tasdiq is from the Lord of the worlds. Or connected to unzila, meaning it was sent down from the Lord of the worlds. A very slight difference in meaning, but it simply depends on what you take this jar majrur to be modifying, either tasdiq or unzila. Now, each of these is, of course, majrur, tasdiq and unzila, but they're quotations, and so we'll do the i'rab of them as they appear in the quotation. Indeed, unzila is a fi'l madi to begin with, so it doesn't take i'rab at all. And hence why al-mahdhuf, the omitted unzila, this is a sifa for unzila, the omitted unzila, hence why it's in the tafsir, not in the verse, is going to be majrur because it is a sifa for a majrur word. Of course, it's a fi'l madi, but it's majrur nonetheless as a quotation, meaning the lafz, the word itself. وَقُرِئَ بِرَفْعِ تَصْدِيقُ وَتَفْصِيلُ بِتَقْدِيرِ هُوَ. And it has been recited in another recitation with rafa' of tasdiq and tafsil. So instead of, as they appear in the verse, as mansub, here in another recitation they are marfu' as tasdiqu and tafsilu bitaqdiri huwa, through an implied huwa. Now the reason why we implied an unzila here, a fi'l, is to provide a justification for why they are mansub. Now if they're marfu', then the implied word here would be huwa as a mubtada, huwa tasdiqul ladhi, walakin huwa tasdiqul ladhi bayna yadayhi. Bitaqdiri huwa here means by the implication of a huwa. بل أيقولون افتراه اختلقه محمد. Or they say, or alternatively, rather do they say he invented it, meaning Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam contrived it. اختلق, from the same root as khalaqa, to create. He created it, he contrived it. قل فأتوا بسورة مثله في الفصاحة والبلاغة على وجه الافتراء فإنكم عربيون فصحاء مثلي. Say, then come with a surah like it in clear language, meaning in proper Arabic language, and in eloquence, by way of, ala wajhi, by way of invention. For indeed you all are clear-spoken Arabs like me. In other words, if you think it's invented, then you ought to be able to invent something like it. وَادْعُوا لِلْإِعَانَةِ عَلَيْهِ من استطعتم من دون الله أي غيره إن كنتم صادقين في أنه افتراء فلم يقدروا على ذلك. And call for help on it whoever you all are able from besides Allah, meaning other than Him. If you all are truthful in that it is an invention. So they were unable to do that. قال تعالى بل كذبوا بما لم يحيطوا بعلمه أي القرآن ولم يتدبروه. He said, Most High, rather they denied that the knowledge of which they did not encompass. Ma Mawsula here, we can block off our sila. Lam yuhitu bi'ilmihi means they did not encompass its knowledge. They did not encompass its knowledge. Adding in the ma, that which they did not encompass its knowledge. In other words, that the knowledge of which they did not encompass. Meaning, the Quran, وَلَمْ يَتَدَبَّرُوهُ, and they did not contemplate it. وَلَمَّا لَمْ يَأْتِهِمْ تَأْوِيلُهُ عَاقِبَةُ مَا فِيهِ مِنَ الْوَعِيدِ, and its interpretation, in other words, the end result of what is in it of the threat, meaning the threat that is in it, the end result of that threat has not yet come to them. So its interpretation, meaning the end result of the threat, has not yet come to them. This lamma means not yet, as opposed to when. And the lam here is to indicate that the meaning is not yet, or did not. كَذَلِكَ التَّكْذِيبِ كَذَّبَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ رُسُلَهُمْ. Just like that, or meaning just like that denial, those from before them denied their messengers. فانظر كيف كان عاقبة الظالمين بتكذيب الرسل أي آخر أمرهم من الهلاك فكذلك يهلك هؤلاء. So see how was the end result of the wrongdoers. Those who did wrong, al-Zalimin, those who did wrong by denying the messengers. Now what does aqiba mean? The end result, meaning the last of their affair of destruction, meaning the destruction that was the end of their affair. So thus, or just like that, so just like their destruction, just like that, these will also face destruction. يَهْلِكُ هَؤُلَاءِ, these will perish, just like those perished. وَمِنْهُمْ أي أهل مكة من يؤمن به لعلم الله ذلك منه ومنهم من لا يؤمن به أبدا وَرَبُّكَ أَعْلَمُ بِالْمُفْسِدِينَ تَهْدِيدٌ لَهُمْ. And from them, meaning from the people of Mecca, Mecca is mudaf ilayh, majroor with a fatha because it is mamnu' min sarf. From them is one who believes in it, or believes in him if it's referring to Allah, because of Allah's knowing that, from him. This will become clear in a moment. and from them is one who does not believe in it or in him ever. So this ever suggests that we should be translating these yu'minu, these fi'l mudari'as, as future tense. From them is one who will believe in him because of Allah's foreknowledge, right? Allah's knowing that ahead of time from him, and from them is one who will not believe. وَرَبُّكَ أَعْلَمُ بِالْمُفْسِدِينَ, and your Lord is more knowing of the corruptors. Ism fa'il afsada yufsidu, to corrupt, to make fasid. The corruptors. Tahdidun lahum, this statement is a threat or an intimidation for them, for the mufsidin. وَإِن كَذَّبُوكَ فَقُلْ لَهُمْ لِي عَمَلِي وَلَكُمْ عَمَلُكُمْ أي لكل جزاء عمله أنتم بريئون مما أعمل وأنا بريء مما تعملون هذا منسوخ بآية السيف. And if they deny you, then say to them, for me is my work or deed. Amal is a deed, but it can also mean work. For me is my work, and for you is your work. Or conduct, perhaps. For me is my conduct, for you is your conduct. Meaning, for each is the recompense of his conduct. So, for me is my conduct, meaning for me is the recompense of my conduct. For you is your conduct. For you is the recompense of your conduct. You all are innocent of what I do, and I am innocent of what you all do. This is abrogated by the verse of the sword. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَسْتَمِعُونَ إِلَيْكَ إِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ أَفَأَنْتَ تُسْمِعُ الصُّمَّ شَبَّهَهُمْ بِهِمْ في عدم الانتفاع بما يتلى عليهم ولو كانوا مع الصمم لا يعقلون يتدبرون. And from them is one who listens to you when you recite the Quran. Then do you make the deaf hear? Sami'a yasma'u is form 1, to hear. He hears. Asma'a yusmi'u is form 4, and that's what we have here, means to make hear, to make someone hear. Asma'a yusmi'u. So do you make the deaf hear? Sum is the plural of asam, meaning deaf, people, if you want to communicate the plural. Although the deaf here, the deaf can also be a plural in English, as far as I'm aware. Shabbahahum bihim. He likened them to them in the absence of deriving benefit from what is recited to them. So he likened them to them. He's likening who to who? Or he's likening whom to whom? Allah is likening those who deny, those who corrupt. He's likening them to the deaf. In what are they alike? In the absence of deriving benefit. For just as the deaf cannot derive benefit from what is recited to them, so too these people do not derive benefit from what is recited to them. And so he likened them to them. So do you make the deaf hear even if they were not reasoning? Even if they were not reasoning, i.e. contemplating. So can you make the deaf hear even if they were on top of their deafness? Ma samami la yaqilun. If they were on top of their deafness, not reasoning. So even more so, you would be unable to make them hear. ومنهم من ينظر إليك أفأنت تهدي العمي ولو كانوا لا يبصرون شبههم بهم في عدم الاهتداء بل أعظم فإنها لا تعمى الأبصار ولكن تعمى القلوب التي في الصدور. And from them is one who looks to you or looks upon you. Then do you guide the blind, even if they do not see? شبههم بهم, he likened them to them. Again, he's likening those who do not respond to revelation to the blind. In what are they alike? In the absence of acting according to guidance. For just as the blind does not act according to guidance, so too these people, although they see, do not act according to guidance. بل أعظم, although rather even more so, they are unable to act according to guidance. Even more unable than the physically blind. For indeed, the faculties of sight do not go blind, but rather the hearts that are in the breasts go blind. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. This video is part of the Guided Reading Project, an initiative of the Ḥikmah Center for Reading, Dialectic, and Philosophy, and is made possible through your support. If you'd like to see more resources like this one, dedicated to helping students of knowledge succeed in their courses of study in Arabic and Islamic sciences, please see the video description below for details on how to contribute. Jazakumullahu khairan, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.